Welcome to the party, pal. This is Full of Bourbon, and I am your friendly neighborhood master of chaos. Welcome to the fifth and final installment, the final battle, if you will, of the EUROCRYPT of Christopher Lee collection here from Severin Films. Yeah, if you've been following along, playing along at home, you know that I'm quite disappointed with this box set. We have one more disc, technically two discs to talk about, and a book. Does it turn the tables on this box set? Does it make me love it now a little better? Let's find out. Take the top off here for the last time as I remove the items that we shall be talking about. I'm going to put this aside. Alrighty. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's talk about Theatre Macabre. Theatre Macabre is exactly what you think it is. It is essentially a Twilight Zone, Outer Limits style ripoff with Christopher Lee sort of sandwiched in there last minute. It is, I believe, a Polish production. They shot 26 episodes. These are the 24 surviving episodes ported over to the UK, and then Christopher Lee was brought in to film Tops and Tails, which basically means he's introing the little short film, and then he does a little outro. And every outro, for some reason, from the episodes that I watched, only about 2 lines, like, oh my, I can't believe that happened, how crazy, and then cut the credits, that kind of stuff.
You must be kidding, aren't you?
So, does he add anything to it? No, not really. Now, I'll be honest, there's 24 episodes on here. I did not watch the whole thing. I don't think I could be expected to watch the whole thing. Honestly, I just wanted to give an impression of it. If the shows were really good, I will, down the line finish them. But I have no interest at the moment to continue my viewing of Theatre Macabre. I watched 8 episodes, 8 out of the 24. That's a good third of the events transpiring within the Theatre Macabre stable of stories. Everything from Tolstoy short stories to Edgar Allan Poe to basically they're all adaptations of literature. Varying degrees here and there. They're all period piece stories. They're all very stodgy, and I'll be honest, not that clever, kind of boring, and doesn't really add anything when it comes to the anthology Twilight Zone type of TV show, which would explain why this is sort of a lost show of that ilk. Again, Christopher Lee doesn't really add anything to the shows. Specifically, he does a little intro, kind of a little gag. He's always in his one room, as pictured on this poster. He's always in his one room, and he says a couple little clever things. Vampires don't exist, ha ha ha. And then cuts to the little short film.
Well, that's fucking not good.
Every episode in here, somehow, magically, at least the ones I watched, run 25 minutes and 14 seconds. Every one of them. Of the 8 that I watched, 25 minutes and 14 seconds. It's kind of amazing that it's that precise. I don't know how they did that, but they did that. Especially with Chris Lee sort of adding his thing, it's strange that they were able to nail it like that. I mean, maybe just the 8 that I watched are specifically perfectly timed. I don't know. Anyway, it's fine. This is actually one of the best things on here in this box set. It's a mixed bag, again, story-wise. Some stories, because of the short story format, and because they don't have Rod Serling writing them, there's almost never a clever twist. There's almost never a, oh wow, oh fuck, I did not see that coming, holy shit, oh man, she was a ghost the whole time. Like, there's none of that like shock and awe surprise element. Nowhere near Twilight Zone or Night Gallery for that matter, or Outer Limits. They're just kind of okay, and I think it's because they're direct adaptations of literature. And short stories sometimes just kind of end abruptly and unsatisfying. That's why I kind of hate short stories. In my opinion, just my feeling on it. But they're kind of okay. They're not great.
Tell us how you really feel.
You know what? I'll tell you how I really feel. Listen.
It's kind of unfortunate this is the best thing on the box set. I mean, beyond the fact that I think Crypt of the Vampire is really good and Torture Chamber is really good for the movies. But this is a nice added bonus. If it was Torture Chamber and Crypt and this, then I would have been pretty happy with it. I would highly recommend it. But because, everything else is just sort of subpar, I can't really recommend the EUROCRYPT of Christopher Lee. As you can see, 2 Blu-rays, 24 episodes, broken up into those 2 discs. It's just kind of okay. Honestly, some of it is really lame. It doesn't really age well. And if you're watching it for Christopher Lee, all of the 8 episodes that I watched, I would tally up his screen time as 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes altogether out of those 8 episodes. And out of the 24, maybe 10 minutes. He's on screen for a very, very short amount of time. I think it's like a minute intro, less than a minute intro, and then the outro is literally like 10 seconds. And so if you're watching this for Christopher Lee, you're going to be disappointed because just like a running theme to this whole goddamn box, he's barely in this.
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined.
Yeah, he's barely in this. But let's talk about the best thing in the box. That would be the fucking book. That's right, the book is the best thing of a Blu-ray box set. Make of it what you will. Christopher Lee, The Continental Connection by Jonathan Rigby. This is a hell of a book. Because it gives us what we want, Christopher Lee. It's about 90 pages. I'll show you some images here and there. It's about 90 pages, has pictures, posters, and cleverly broken up into chapters, so it's easily digestible. It's not just 90 straight pages of dense text. I will say overall it's a little dry because it's essentially charting Christopher Lee's entire career, not just his time in Europe, as referenced by the EUROCRYPT. It mentions the EUROCRYPT films, but it mentions everything from the Hammer stuff, to the stuff he did in America and things like that. So it kind of covers the gamut of Christopher Lee. His early years, for sure. But when I mean dry, I mean it's like, in 1962 he did this. In 1963 he did this. In 1964 he went to Germany and did that. So it's kind of almost a filmography in prose form in a strange kind of way. But it's engaging enough that you get a good picture of Christopher Lee and how much he liked to work. He was a workaholic, and you kind of you appreciate that and you understand that. But I'll tell you right now, maybe this is just me, but I'm not gonna remember shit about anything in here. That's probably just me. I have a problem when it comes to like dry text and remembering nonfiction stuff. I'm not gonna remember any of these fucking facts and figures. It was fun to read about and say, oh, that's interesting. Oh, 1962 he did that. Well, okay, cool. And I think that's maybe the problem here, that you don't necessarily get Christopher Lee Christopher Lee from Christopher Lee's mouth, for lack of a better word. You're just getting somebody who likes Christopher Lee saying, oh, this is the movies he made, and this is maybe why he made them or whatever. But there's not a lot of in-depth knowledge about Christopher Lee the man. I mean, it touches here and there, but it's mostly a filmography. Hey, he did this and this. He did that and that. It's a little dry, and again, because it's so clinical in its approach, I'm not going to remember fuck all about any of these facts. I don't remember what he did in 1962, and I read this book. I literally just finished it last night. I don't remember. It doesn't really matter, though. It doesn't really matter. Unless you're a giant Christopher Lee sponge, and you probably know all this shit already, in which case this book is kind of useless to you. Does it make the box better? It certainly adds to it, definitely in terms of gravitas, in terms of importance. It definitely adds to it. If you want to know anything about Christopher Lee, this is the fucking book. 90 pages, short and sweet. Get it in, get it out. That sounded weird.
Giggity, 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 giggity. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang.
You know what I mean. Christopher Lee, The Continental Connection, is the best thing about this box set. It does improve the box set. If the book wasn't in here, it would just be kind of a collection of random movies. The book ties it all together, and I'm glad it's included, and it's 100% the best thing of this box set. But, like I said, keep in mind, it's very dry, and you most likely, after reading it, will walk away not remembering anything. At least that's kind of how I dealt with all this like info dump style writing. Does it make the other movies better? Well, he doesn't really touch on a lot of the backstory. The Milligan information really did, I think, add to the enjoyment of the movies. It added to the background knowledge. It added to the production woes and all that stuff. So you definitely felt more connected to the films with the Milligan book. Here, no. Oh, he did a Sherlock Holmes movie. Oh, he did a torture chamber. He was there for 3 days or whatever. That's fine. It doesn't really add to the movies. It doesn't really impress you in terms of like, oh, wow, interesting. Now I'll see that movie in a different light. And that's a bummer. Well, pal, that's it. Time to put this box set to bed. And I've got to say, I'm frankly exhausted. I was hoping to discover some hidden gems. And while there were a few really fun movies that I might revisit, overall, I hate to say this. I really hate to say this because I don't want to be labeled a hater. There's no such thing as a hater. There's film fans. You either like it or you don't like it. There's no such thing as a hater in film criticism and film fandom. A hater is somebody that hates something without any reason. You hate it just because you hate it. On principle alone. That's not how film fans work. I love Christopher Lee. I love Severin. In my opinion, this is a dud. I wouldn't buy it. Even at $105, which is a hell of a price. Maybe that was tipping us off to something. A hell of a price for all of this. There's maybe 2 movies I would revisit. I don't think I'm going to finish the rest of the Theater Macabre. I'm just not interested. They didn't really wow me. And the book, I already read it. I'm not going to go back to it. And I think it'll look nice on my shelf. But I'm tempted to sell it. But I don't want to because it was a gift from my loving wife. And I'd hate to tell her that the only physical media she's bought me in forever sucked. You know, I would hate to tell her that. So I'm going to hang on to it for the memories. And who knows, maybe I'll revisit the movies as often happens. I'll revisit and be surprised at how amazing the movie is. And then take back my thoughts. That happens. We age into movies sometimes. Okay, EUROCRYPT Christopher Lee. That's it, the finale. 5 episodes in. Now, the sale, if you're watching this, within that time frame, Severin Nuke the Mid-Year Sale is happening. I'll be bringing you all that coverage this coming week. I hope you'll join me. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. That helps out from the Neighborhood Master Chaos very much. I'm trying to get, fingers crossed, to 1,500 by July 5th. That is my 1 year on YouTube anniversary. 1 year of going daily. So, if I get there, I'm going to do a 12-hour movie marathon live on my channel. Stop in, hang out, let's watch the movies. As a thank you to you, I'm going to be doing 12-hour movie marathon. Only if I hit 1,500 by July 5th. I mean, it's probably pie-in-the-sky dream, but we'll see what happens. Okay, my friends, that's it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. I really, really do. I hope this video finds you well. Remember, your friendly Neighborhood Master Chaos loves you. As a matter of fact, I love you just the way you are. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon. Rest in peace, Christopher Lee. I'm sorry that I didn't love your box set, but I love you. I respect your hustle. And I respect your hustle. And I'll see you soon. I hope. I really hope. Until we meet again, please remember, I remain to be continued.